This band? I like this band. I wrote it down so I don't forget who they are. Oh, I remember. Fuck it!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with some black metal. We're gonna hail Satan today. I talk to Satan every day. Sometimes he talks back, and Satan said to me, keep these headphones on, madman. Satan said to me, I gotta say the name right. I don't know if I can say it right. Svarttjern? Is that the best I can do? I don't know. You gentlemen are going to have to correct me. I'm an American. We're obnoxious. We can't learn to do anything right. Don't you see the world? But what I can tell you right now is these boys bring the pain. They bring the death. They bring the black. They bring everything metal should be. They did one of the sickest, they did a Rolling Stones cover, and I couldn't fucking believe it. Mick Jagger's rolling over in his grave. The guy's not even dead yet. Without further ado, let me bring you some legends that have just been punching their music into the faces of the metal scene for years and don't know how to stop. Boys, how we doing today?
With that introduction, I would say elevated. For sure, my friend.
It's well deserved. I was doing some deep cuts with you guys. The music is unreal. The balance that you have in there. A lot of times with bands, right, they'll just focus on one, black metal, death metal, and it's just kind of stale, and it sounds like everybody else. You guys have a fresh sound that's your own, and I can hear all those genres incorporated into the music. How do you keep things fresh doing this for so long?
I'm probably the least fresh in the band, so I think maybe my brother Gamle Erik should say something.
Yeah, you mentioned sound. You know, it's hard to define, but somehow we've managed to find our sound. And like I can when Fjellnord, the other guitarist, and myself meet up for sessions and studio just riffing, we can almost immediately hear this is us or this is not us, and even with that, the sound, the genre, the boundaries are very broad, but still it's just you can hear it instantly. So and yeah, almost, at least writing music now in Svarttjern has in one way never been easier, because we're much more collective now, at least perhaps the 4 or 5 last years. We've been more like a force with the whole with all the members, while the early ones was more like me writing just riffs and calling more the shots, to say it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now it's a much more group effort, a lot more input.
I would say so. It's easier to get input, and I think we all have aligned a bit on what we want to present, and that has been important from day one. Everyone being behind the music, not true or blah blah blah, nothing like that. Get some sort of feeling, which has been important. To even might be the atmosphere or the aggression. It ignites a small spark.
Yeah, that's as Gamle Erik says. He's been pulling a lot of the strings, doing a lot of the riffing, also together with Fjellnord. You have been sparring a lot for at least the first 4 albums, I would say, at least. But now with more modern age, with being able to send tracks back and forth, working together, and also I would say the life situations of every single member. For the last 2 albums especially, it's been like a joined force, as Gamle Erik says. So never been easier in a way, but it also at the same time being very easy, also being very much complex, but in synergy of the band. Because I would, for the last album, Shame is Just a Word, and on Draw Blood, now the last album, I kind of for the first time have been able to stick my head up and join much more of the production part of the songs. You know, the structure, the one working together with Eric a lot, and so it's never been easier, but never been more complex in the same way, which feels good. That was a long answer.
Definitely. Hey, it's the right answer, though, right? That's what you want. You want that cohesive unit there where everybody could kind of throw something in and that's, I think, what helps keeps the music fresh also. And when you're working with both of you, I love to ask this of bands because it's usually one way or the other, sometimes 50-50. Do you prefer being in the studio recording, or do you want to be out there performing these things live to the masses?
I think both. I've said this before in interviews. I enjoy like the pre-production phase where you sit down and write music in completely on your own terms. But speaking of studios, like both myself have a decent studio now, and especially Malfast, the bassist, has a super professional studio now, which so we handle all the production side ourselves. So it's not like that it's stress or financial strain or something like that. It's just studio is not the same as it was before. It's much more easier when we have total control and no like you have to be done by 4 o'clock or stuff like that. You can just do it on your own terms. So but of course live is that's more like the essence of talking about black metal. So that's I would say like 70% live and 30% studio or something like that.
Because fill in, not to interrupt, but where the inspiration comes from, how we can put things together. I think a lot of the vibe of an album, or the underlying tones of an album, like the bottom emotions, comes from hanging out. You know, we're a bunch of extremely good old, not because we're old, but we've been friends for a long time. And when hanging out, being on the road, being like on top of each other all the time, that's kind of when a dynamic happens within the band, where we kind of subconsciously agree on the directions for perhaps a new album or a new project, whilst the riffing, the songs come together as a cooperation with especially Gamle Erik and Fjellnord working in Gamle Erik's studio, and then coming together up in Malfast's studio and working the songs together. But the underlying tones, I must say, the one writing the lyrics and so on, definitely comes from just hanging out, being good old friends, not giving a fuck.
I think it's like especially on Draw Blood, the last album we did. I think the whole band showed up for when Hans Fürste was laying his vocals. I had nothing to do there, like, but the whole band like was in the studio room, like to hear.
As well, a lot of the guitar tracks and so on. We were kind of just hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and I think that's some important stuff for younger bands to hear coming up, right? Because sometimes you see these bands that start up together, they don't get along. They're fighting with one another. And, you know, the egos, I know we were talking a little beforehand about egos, right? We all have to kind of let our egos come down and take advice from one another and go out there and have fun. And remember why everybody's doing this in the first place. It's always disappointing when I see bands just clashing, and you know, you could see stuff is starting to go in a certain direction. So when you find that right group, just finding that right group, nurturing it, making sure everybody remembers why they're doing this and what they're in this music for. And that's really good to hear right now, that you guys have that dynamic, that everything's just working together. And
we're old friends. We're old brothers, all of us.
You're all brothers and friends, and that's how everybody should be out in this scene, guys out there trying to break down all different genres. And who doesn't like this or that? At the end of the day, we all need to go thrash. That's just my philosophy. But
But at the same time, we love stomping on the enemies. We love stomping on people as well. So it's kind of like on the other side, but that's a different story.
Hey, our enemies, that's a whole different story. We could do a whole new episode on people trying to bring us down, and we can't allow that. We will not allow that. With this band so far, when we're talking live, do you have a favorite venue you've played? Is there some place, and I know that's a hard question. I'm sure there's been so many highlights, but could you say Madman, there was that one show, that one venue that it was just a magical place in time?
Oof, I don't know. If I may go first on this one, looking back, Svarttjern, we've been acting for a lot of, we've been active for a lot of years. We've had our highlights for sure, as friends and brothers. We've said to each other so many times, "Fucking hell, look at this shit." I mean, we're just the old guys hanging out, and now we're doing this, and that still baffles us a lot. But I have to say, of course, doing South America, Mexico has been huge for us. But looking back, because I'm constantly reminded on social media from the Wacken gig we did this summer, and I see the picture of us standing on stage, the five of us, five brothers, saluting towards the drum throne with a guy taking a picture, and seeing the crowd in the background. That for me has to be a pinnacle of just wow moments. I didn't really think of it at that time, but looking back, that for me personally, with Svarttjern, our old fucking underground band, that was huge. So I have to say, it's a boring answer, but Wacken, because it filled up. It's filled up, like the field out there while we were playing. I know it might sound stupid saying it as a musician, but the field out there filled up so much while we were playing. It was fucking packed. I have no idea how many people it was. No idea. I'm probably never going to play for that many people again. So yeah, that was my short, long answer.
Hey,
what about you, Eric?
That's incredible. Yeah.
We have this venue in Oslo called Rockefeller. And I performed there first time in 2018 with Carpathian Forest, and the following year with Svarttjern, which is like the main stage of the Inferno Festival. And that is I think it's my favorite venue, and not because of like specs or anything boring. It's like the rock and roll hall of Oslo, of Norway.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest you get.
Yeah.
We have bigger venues, like of course for like the international huge bands and stuff like that. But in our genre, that is about as big as it gets, and especially like on a home turf. And so I love. Rockefeller is just it just holds a special place. And Hans Fyrste and myself, we've seen several other bands there. Like you see bands like Emperor and Gorgoroth, and
it's
like on that level. So
I agree.
yeah, I really love Rockefeller.
And actually, going back about like 10 years at least, I remember the first time Svarttjern was booked on the Inferno Festival. We played in the basement on John D. Opening slot on John D. quite early, in the afternoon. But it was packed. We just heard that it was, John D. is a basement underneath the Rockefeller, and during Inferno, the entrance is through Rockefeller and down some stairs, and then into the basement where not Elm Street, but where
John D.
I forgot the name.
John D.
But John D. Thank you. Where John D. is, and we just heard from people that it's packed. It's a line all up the stairs, all the way up to Rockefeller. It's fucking packed. It's a fire safety. It's a fire hazard actually now, and yeah, just to like divide into something really, really big. In like perspective, Wacken is big into something that was really big for us. John D, that first gig when we just got to fucking kick people in the face. That was probably those two, Wacken and the John D first Inferno gig.
Just two major accomplishments, especially for this type of music, as we know, right? Not always the type of music that are going to play bigger venues and things of that nature. So when you're accomplishing these things and bringing those people in, you just know you're doing something right. You're making an impact. You're getting that music in people's ears, and they're going to tell more and more people. And it's just a great accomplishment to hear and to see those things happen. And when you are on the road, what's the biggest struggle when you're out there to say, hey, I got to make sure this is in order or that's, because I know it's not always perfect. I know things don't always go.
The technical side, I have no answer, but Eric knows more.
I think Svarttjern is probably one of the most easygoing bands in the scene,
Nice.
and I don't say that like I really mean it. Like it takes a lot for us to like get really upset and
Sure.
yeah. But like on the South and Latin American tour now was of course like several logistical problems and technical issues and it's different. You don't find the same of those problems when you tour Europe, for instance. But there are other problems in Europe as well, like catering and language troubles and stuff like that. So it's
the biggest.
But again, we're super easy. Like I think the only I think I had a small meltdown in Texas, of all places.
I had a big fucking meltdown in Texas. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was because it was so poorly organized.
Wow.
And then we just had. I think both of us just fucking had it.
Yeah.
That was like the.
And that's the first time
final,
ever. I mean, we know each other. I mean, we know each other for almost like 30 years now, but that's the first time ever where. The band got together, and we've had several arguments and discussions over the years. What gets to us, what fucks up a night. And that's the first time everybody had to just step in. I respected the other members, understanding I have to just back off a bit. I have to calm down a bit. I think also Eric, Gamle Erik as well. We were at we were fed up, and it's the first time ever where I said, guys, fuck it. Let's cancel this shit. Let's fucking cancel it. I just fuck this shit. Those words have never came out of my mouth before. But we got together as a unit, I stepped back a bit. We got to an agreement. We did this and that, and we still played a short show. We still played a short, like 5-6 song show. So what gets to us the most, when touring, we're not partying fucking 24/7 anymore. It's different now. I would say competition wise, the game rules have changed, with so many really, really, really good bands out there. Svarttjern, of course, we have a really good time. We enjoy ourselves, but we're not able to deliver our maximum if we're gonna fucking party for 30 days. I'll probably go straight back into rehab. It doesn't work like that. So we're working really hard on doing our best, and when venues or some local organizers, that's when we kind of tick. That's the hard thing. We probably haven't had, let's say we've been traveling for 52 hours. We've had like 4 hours sleep in a fucking hooker hotel, which is another story. And we come to the venue and it's nothing. It's nothing. We sit there for 4 hours. We don't even get a fucking bottle of water.
Wow.
No equipment, nothing. That's when kind of fuck it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's go out there and drink with the fans. Let's change the evening. Let's just not play. Let's just go the fuck out there and have some beer with people and just do that instead. And that was my first, suggestion. Fuck this shit. But we came together and we played a couple of songs and it was good. So yeah, a long answer short. The strains of being on the road is very hard sometimes. And we don't expect much. We just want some fucking equipment and some food and some drinks so we can do our job. But when that, the basics fail, it's hard.
It sounds like just keeping a cool head at all times, right? It sounds like you got to just remember why you're there, and that's amazing. You were able to play some songs, and I know
People
I've had
pay
some
money.
instances. They're paying money, and I've had them where like I'm supposed to get on stage announcing bands and stuff, and nobody knows which mic is going to be working, and nobody knows nobody's giving me a fucking time to get up there, right? So it's like, hey, it's 2 minutes. How long does this band want this intro for? Are we doing 30 seconds? Are we doing 5 minutes? And when you don't have that stuff in front of you, I know what you're talking about, and it fucks everything up. And now you're in a different mind. You're in this amped up mind space, and now you're mad at everybody, right? And at the end of the day, most people don't care. They don't care they screwed up. They just don't give a shit. They're just going to keep moving on with their life. And I'm glad you're able to keep your heads in the game where you go, we're still going to get out there and perform, because you know what that means to those fans. Yeah, you know what that means to them.
Always delivers. Always. But I mean, if you go like 4 steps back from what you're saying, we're not talking intro tracks and what microphones. Right. Nothing is ready. Nothing. They don't even have a backline. But we're waiting, and it's 30 minutes past stage time. People have paid money. We're in fucking Texas. We're Norwegian dudes. We're in Texas playing a gig. What the fuck is going on? Yeah. So sorry. Now I'm getting built up.
You're only human. It's okay. It's okay. And so, guys, listening to the band, the music, it's fucking epic. It's fucking hard. It just fucking, like I said, it punches you right in the fucking balls. It takes control. What's coming up next for the band? Are you working on a new album? Is this just getting ready for touring, or what's going on?
A lot of things, I must say. I hope at least you also seen Svarttjern really stepping on the gas a couple of last years. We agreed as a unit that let's fucking do it. Everything, it fits for us now. Let's fucking do it. We're giving Svarttjern 100%, and it feels really good seeing results of that. We've done the tours now. We did an album that's gotten really album, and we have shitloads in the pipeline, which we're really looking forward on getting to and building upon. And Gamle Erik, he's the driving force of Svarttjern. He's the guy that weaves the. Svarttjern hadn't been fucking anything if it wasn't for Gamle Erik. So he's the one working the magic, and he's doing quite well.
But as Hans Fürste mentions, we have lots of cool things planned, and working hard on a new album as well, which 99% certain will be released next year.
Yes.
So
that's awesome.
Stepping on the fucking gas, just full throttle.
Yeah, and guys, it's been a pleasure. I'll have to have you back on when the album's getting closer to release, and we'll get some updates, and we'll see what else is going on, how you guys are an out-of-control satanic train that won't be stopped, that's plowing through mountains. Go follow them on all socials. Go listen to their music everywhere you could hear music. Don't be a poser. Don't be a pussy. Go listen to the real music. Boys, it's been a pleasure. I'm so glad we got to meet. You guys are the real deal. You're very sincere. You're very passionate about the music. And like I said, let's catch up again soon. I'll get this out. I'll tag you everywhere, and we'll go from there.
Hey, let's have a chat soon, man. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about Svarttjern, but just hang out, talk metal. I'm definitely in on that. And thank you very, very much for catching up with us. And thank you for the support. We really...
I lost you for a second there. You were saying nice words about me, and I'm conceited, so I needed to know what you were saying.
Oh, I was saying first. No, I have had some technical issues today, but first of all, definitely let's catch up again. We don't have to talk about Svarttjern. We can just talk about metal in general. I would love to fucking join you in a future podcast.
Yeah. No,
and
most
of all, thank you very much for the support. We appreciate it so much, and we need it. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You got it. I'm going to get a hype video out too. And thanks to Brittany from Are You Afraid of the Riffs for letting us all get together. And can't wait to hang again, guys. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, she's the best.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
See you later.